It's the biggest deal ever. Rockstar Games' parent company, Take-Two Interactive, plans to purchase the legendary mobile studio Zynga for a record-breaking price within the gaming industry.
And rumors are pointing to From Software's next game, and it might not be what you think. All this news and more right now on Gaming News Weekly. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Gaming News Weekly. We are the best weekly video game news show out there right now, and we're bringing you the biggest video game news there is. My name is Erect the Red, joined, as always, by Full Clip. What's going on, buddy? How are you today?
Oh, doing good, man. Yeah, it's been a long one. I think we're both feeling it, a little rundown, but we're going to ramp that energy up to a 11.5 on a scale of 10.
Yes, dude. As soon as I hit the record button, I was like, I got just energized. I said, who needs sleep when we got news? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, exactly. Who needs sleep when we got video games, too? And I was talking about how tired I was, but I'm not going to go to bed. I'm going to go play video games.
Oh, yeah.
Right? That's the
Same
way to
here.
go. You doing it? You playing anything good? Are you still trying to get that? You're trying to get that paint, aren't you? Still.
Not as much as lately. For one important reason, I gave in. You get a lot of credit. Xbox Game Pass, or at least PC Game Pass, is now something that I have.
Nice.
So, Halo Infinite campaign, I got to start on it, and I keep wanting to find time to play it more.
Yeah. Are you enjoying it so far?
Pretty good. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you played it, but or how far into it you got, but it's like supposed to be like an open world in the campaign. I think I just made it to that point, so I'm maybe an hour and a half in. Haven't really experienced everything there is, so I can't really say much about it. But I mean, what I did play, I enjoyed quite a bit.
Nice. Yeah, I gotta give it a shot. I kept wanting to play it, and then I was like, maybe I need to play from the beginning of the Halo series. I don't know the Halo stories, but then I was like, dude, that's a lot of gameplay. I don't have time for that. So
That'd take you a while, but I mean, you can do it because every single one of them are on the Game Pass.
that's the reason that it's like in my head. I was like, that's the problem with these streaming services. The completionist in me feels the need to always go back to the start, and then I never set out. It's the same thing with like television shows. When like a new show is starting or a new season, I'm like, I'm gonna go back and watch it from the beginning, and I watch like 2 seasons out of like 8, and then I never get to the new stuff that I was hoping to watch. It's tough. I gotta get past that little bit of OCD that I have about completing everything. And as a video gamer, it's not good to have. Like when you're playing like an open world game, dude, I get anxious about these open world games that have like so much to do, because I'm like, dude, how am I gonna complete all this? So I'm starting to get better. I'm just gonna go and do the story, and that's it. But speaking of that, like, so I've been playing more of that Guardians of the Galaxy game, and it's funny because every time that you go, like, I like to go look around because there's like, whatever their credits are or whatever laying around, and like you can find different skins and that sort of thing. But every time that you go off the course of the story, the campaign, the other characters start like making fun of you and start saying like, oh, there he goes again. Like he has no idea what he's doing. He's just off thinking we have all the time in the world to be doing this. And I'm like, shut up. Like there's obviously like a big pile of credits over here or something. I'm like, the board was built for me to traverse this way. Stop yelling at me, Rocket. But it is funny. Every time it happens, like, oh, there he goes again.
That's pretty good. I've never heard of a game that like shames you out of.
It's
out of
ridiculous,
it.
dude. Yes, but it is fun. I've been enjoying that, and I just told you about just a second ago while we're talking about games we're playing. Wordle. That's all I'm gonna say. A word game, browser based. Check it out. It's the new hotness. All right. Well, even before we move on though, you try any of the other Game Pass games, or did you go right into Halo?
Just into Halo. That's all I've had time for. But I want to try Forza Horizon 5. That's on my list. Gunk looked good. I want to try that out. But yeah, there's like, I mean, I might go back to Fallout 4, Skyrim, something like that, just because they're there.
Yeah, exactly. You'll dig Forza. That's a fantastic racing game. But yeah, that's exciting, dude. You're doing it. And that's a good deal. That PC Game Pass was it $10?
Yeah.
That's
Just $1 for the first month, which was great.
yeah. Yeah, and then like you could always keep finding deals and stuff like that. And even if you unsubscribe for a little bit, they'll reactivate that $1 deal at some point, and you could get back in at that rate. So
Yeah.
very cool. All right, let's move on. Let's get this show on the road. Let's talk about our new releases from last week. Speaking of PC gaming, we had a few ports. Now, first up, Monster Hunter Rise. This was initially a Nintendo Switch game. This got ported over to PC on January 12th. So it was been out for the Nintendo Switch since March. It's the 6th installment of the Monster Hunter series. It's a co-op game. I don't know if you're familiar with the Monster Hunter game dynamic, but it's pretty much like it sounds. You go and you hunt monsters.
Yeah.
And then you take their bones and their skin and you make cool weapons and armor and stuff like that. But yeah, 1 to 4 players. I'm hearing that on PC, since the visuals were initially made for the Nintendo Switch, it's not the best looking of the Monster Hunter games, but the gameplay is supposedly the best out of all of the installments of Monster Hunter. So that's really cool. I never got into the Monster Hunter series. I get like anxiety about killing these helpless creatures that are out there just trying to survive, and I'm like, give me your bones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't play the official Monster Hunter, but I played that free-to-play Dauntless, and I'm told that it works in a similar fashion.
Yes. I played that Dauntless. Monster Hunter is very, very similar to that. I would say more, just refined. But yeah, very, very similar hook. You're just out there killing innocent creatures to try to make stuff with their skin. That's for you. Check out the PC version of Monster Hunter Rise. Another huge game that just got ported over to PC, God of War, the 2018 PlayStation title. Now, this is getting great reviews. It came out January 14th, and already they're saying that it looks even better than it does on the PS5. Like, they've really upgraded the visuals now at on your max PC settings. If you got all the bells and whistles, they say it looks beautiful. But even with a just an okay PC, they're saying it looks better in a lot of ways than PS4 and sometimes PS5. Like the shadows, I guess, are a lot more shadowy, and like dust and particles and stuff like that. So it looks really cool. But yeah, it's got 4K, 60 frame per second, ultra wide support for those ultra wide people. I don't know. That was a weird way to say that, but yeah, it's out there. It's a good it's good to see that they didn't mess around on this port. Sony hired the studio. They bought a studio just to work on their PC ports, and everything I'm hearing that they didn't skimp on it, and it's a great version of the game. So if you've never had a PlayStation or if you've never played God of War, I definitely recommend it. I never finished it, but all this talking about it makes me I got to go back in and beat up some more people.
Oh yeah.
You ever play it?
Hadn't played God of War. Always saw it though. I try to follow it when it comes out, like the new ones, but yeah, I'm lost on that subject.
Yeah, I definitely recommend it, especially now. I think you can get a lot of places for like $10 every once in a while, But it's a great game. But yeah, I got to get back in there. It's just a lot. It was a lot. It was a big game. All right, and the last one on our new releases list, Shadow Man Remastered. This just came out for the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, and Xbox X on January 13th, and comes out for the Nintendo Switch on January 17th. Now, this is it's a game from 1999, based on a Valiant comic book character, which, I mean, in the late 90s, Valiant Comics was, they were a thing. They were a big thing. But this, for some reason, this game, people loved it. And I've never played it. Have you played the Shadow Man game?
I did play it. I mean, it was back when it came out, so it's been a long, long time. But I played it until I got stuck. I don't know, kid brain.
Yeah. It's so, like, I was looking at the trailer for the new released remastered version, and it's, so it's a third-person action-adventure game where you fight demons and do these puzzle solving and stuff like that. And, like, the remaster does not look great. I mean, it looks on par with maybe like the GTA trilogy remaster.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess like it's not about the looks for this one. It's about the gameplay, and for some reason, people love it.
Yeah, that's the hook for Switch in general, isn't it? It's not about the looks.
Yeah, exactly. This is one to get on the Switch. I don't know if maybe the Xbox X version of it is going to do any favors, but it's out there. Play it where you want if you want to relive this 1990s comic book superhero. And there you go. All right, that's our new releases from last week. We actually had some, so that's a plus. Now, granted, they've all been games that have been out previously, but, we're moving in the right direction. All right, let's switch gears and let's talk about our news of the week. Possibly the biggest acquisition in video game history, Take-Two Interactive is buying Farmville developer Zynga for $12.7 billion. Holy jeebs.
Oh, yeah.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, we thought it was big when Microsoft purchased Mojang and Minecraft, but this is even larger.
Dude, Microsoft just recently bought like Bethesda for like half of this. It's crazy. But now they, Take-Two is now, they got Farmville, they got Words with Friends, they got High Heels. I don't even know what that one was, but it was listed with these other games. But from what I've read, more than having Zynga's lineup of games, they're excited to have a company to put Take-Two's products, Take-Two's titles out there as mobile games. Yeah, they basically said, let me read this little thing. There's a quote from Take-Two. They said, "We see tremendous untapped potential to bring Take-Two's renowned console and PC properties to mobile, a high priority initiative that will be energized by the addition of Zynga's leading development, publishing, and live operations teams." So, I don't know what they're going to bring to mobile. Maybe like, I'm assuming probably GTA, right? Like, is there a mobile version of that right now?
The new trilogy, the remaster, that was all like mobile ports.
Really?
Yeah, essentially. And they used a mobile developer to do it. So, I mean, they could have used Zynga for that, but it sounds like from this that Zynga's purpose will be more to like take existing franchises, maybe like Bully or Max Payne or whatever else Rockstar has touched, and create new versions of that for mobile.
Yeah. And I mean, we've seen that. I mean, mobile gaming is huge. Like just recently, like PUBG was the highest PUBG Mobile was the highest grossing game of like November, and then like Pokemon Go made $5 billion in a year, and it's just like, so there's definitely money in mobile gaming. So Take-Two, maybe they're not as dumb as they look,
Yeah. I hope they're not after that trilogy, but that's...
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's the thing. They're like, all right, well, this game looks like a mobile game. Let's just double down, and we'll put it out there. Make all our games look like this. Put them on mobile. Easy peasy. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the first step in this relationship, in this acquisition is what the first title we see come out of this, or maybe this is all just a ploy to get Farmville, the DLC, into GTA
Yeah.
6. Maybe
We'll
GTA
reverse
6
it. We'll do
slash Farmville.
Farmville 4K. Bring that to the PS5.
Ooh wee, dude. Yeah, you gotta. My aunt would be crushing it. She's on there.
Oh yeah.
She's always just sending Facebook messages to everybody, trying to get more Farmville bucks. That's a thing still,
Absolutely.
I'm sure. All right, let's move on from that exciting acquisition and talk about another exciting thing, possibly a new Armored Core game. So From Software, the people behind Dark Souls and Elden Ring, and initially Armored Core, put out a consumer survey recently, and basically it was a survey asking people's, looking for people's feelings about a possible new Armored Core game. And in it, they had a description of the game, screenshots, and then like two 30-second videos of this potential Armored Core game. So they all the screenshots that they showed were watermarked. So like I'll try to include them here in the video, but they look like crap. Like they definitely have like these lines on there, and they're not to be really shown around, shared with everybody. But it's interesting. The videos, I guess, were of a boss fight and like in-world gameplay in like a snow area. Have you ever played the Armored Core games?
Not since the days of video game rentals.
Okay. So, I mean, the last one that we got was from 2013. That was the last Armored Core game. So, I played one, probably much earlier than that, I think. I don't even know what system it would have been for.
I'm thinking PS1. I think there was like a demo even on one of the big demo discs.
Yeah, I don't know, but basically, so here's the little description of the game. Let's see. They said melange, an unknown substance that could dramatically advance human society. In the past, the substance caused a cosmic catastrophe on planet Bashtar that engulfed the surrounding star systems, and eventually its very existence was lost. Decades later, the melange reaction was confirmed again on planet Bashtar. In search of the unknown substance that should have been lost, various speculations begin to swirl. Various parties are getting involved. The government, corporations, cultists, and unknown mercenaries. The protagonist is one of them. So yeah, very exciting. Get your Armored Core pants ready.
Oh yeah.
And but yeah, no, the game in this description, it's described as a third-person shooter mecha action title that lets you move around an overwhelmingly scaled map that represents a unique sci-fi world with dynamic mech action. And supposedly this sci-fi world was created by Hidetaka Miyazaki himself, the big brains, the big guy behind all the From Software games that everybody loves. He's the director of Dark Souls and Elden Ring and that sort of thing. So he initially got his start on a Armored Core game many years ago and has always wanted to go back. And they've rumored that, they're not done with this title and they want to get back to it. So from everything I'm hearing, while it's not official, it seems like, once Elden Ring comes out in about a month, that this may be the next game that they're going to focus on. And I'm sure we'll hear more about it then after, the Elden Ring buzz dies down. So,
yeah.
You excited? You love your mechs and stuff, dude. I see you.
See, I would pick it back up, but I got to know if it's going to be like the old PlayStation 1 game I played, or if it's going to be like, did they learn anything from titles like Titanfall, some of the Gundam games since then? Is it going to feel new? That's what I'd need out of it.
Yeah, it'll be my biggest thing. The takeaway from this is, would it be? They've done these like every From Software game that's come out recently has had the same kind of feel. It's always that Dark Souls style game. Now, would this be a Dark Souls style game set in space with mechs, or would they change up that style entirely to try to, create something new, something different. But I mean, it works. Like, those Souls games are very popular. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what this game is. But yeah, I'm sure we got a while before that we get any further information. But the fact that they have screenshots and video and stuff like that already, who knows? It could be sooner than we think.
That's promising.
Yes. All right. Next up, let's talk about what Sony and Microsoft are doing regarding their last gen systems. They've got very different plans from one another. So Microsoft recently made it official. They officially announced, I guess, that they stopped manufacturing all their Xbox One consoles in 2020. So it had been rumored that they were going to be stopping, and they officially said that they did. The system itself is discontinued. They're no longer going to be making it. They're going to sell through what's out there and then focus on the Xbox Series S and X. Now, Sony just recently stated that they initially planned to end their PlayStation 4 production at the end of 2021, but has since changed their mind and is now going to be creating an additional 1 million PlayStation 4s in 2022, stating that this is to fill the hole that, is out there, the PlayStation 5s. So, very interesting take on both things. About how they're doing this. I guess it's dependent upon, who could get. I'm assuming that the chips that are needed in each computer are different enough where, like, PlayStation 5, they can't get the product they need to make that particular system. So they're like, all right, well, we'll make this PlayStation 4. And then as far as the Xbox ones, they're just like, all right, well, maybe they're so similar that they're just like, all right, we're done with this entirely. Let's focus on what we can do, and that is make these the Xbox X and Series S. I don't know. It's all speculation, but that's what we're good at, speculating.
Yeah, it comes back to a topic that we've talked about not that long ago. Sort of, are we letting the old generation die out? When is the time? Because this is kind of unprecedented. It's not been like, you usually have a shortage on the new consoles during Christmas of their release. You don't have that 2 years down the road. So these times are kind of unprecedented, and I think a lot of developers are kind of pushing to keep things on the old systems, and some are giving it up. I read somebody said for one of those games, like, the new generation is the only generation for it, or something like that. But, I mean, you're going to lose out on a lot of sales because people just can't find those new consoles. Yeah,
exactly. It is very interesting, and we'll see. I mean, and it also does point out that, I mean, Xbox has always been really amazing at its backwards compatibility, to the point where, like, the older games, you don't need the older systems to play it most of the time. As far as the PlayStation games, you can. I mean, it's a little different, but I mean, PlayStation 4 games you can play on the 4. You can't play PlayStation 5 games on it, obviously. But yeah, it's interesting that both where they go. But I have been seeing a lot of people are just excited to get. They can't, like, they've given up on PlayStation 5. Tons of cheap games out there now available on the PlayStation 4, so they've been just buying those because A, they're out there, and B, like, there's a huge library of titles that they've never played. So yeah, it's interesting, and also it's different in that, like, Xbox Series S's are seemingly readily available. They've come to the point where you can get those in stores most of the time. If you check, like, a website, the S is available. So, very different ideas, but that's been happening more and more lately between the two, as far as Microsoft's introduction to the Game Pass and that sort of thing, and Sony moving in the direction of just acquiring different game manufacturers and producers. So, yeah, it'll be hopefully it'll be all a moot point when we could all just get the PS5 and Xbox X readily.
Oh yeah.
All right. We've got a Gaming News Weekly news update here. So remember, back last year, I think in October, we talked about the truck that was carrying graphics cards that was stolen. Well, it has turned up, supposedly. So it was stolen initially in California and has ended up in Vietnam. And so there was speculation initially about where this was going to be going to. Is it, we talked about it going to like mine cryptocurrencies and like, all this stuff. And it turns out that it ended up being purchased, I guess, allegedly purchased by a major PC components retailer in Vietnam called Cong Nguyen PC. So, I guess basically how this came about was somebody bought one of these graphics cards at a cheaper price from this retailer, went to go register it, and saw that it came up on the banned list. So, very interesting.
Yeah. One of the interesting things I thought reading up on this story was about that that place in Vietnam, that store. It sounds like it's sort of like a Fry's or a Micro Center, one of those types of stores. Maybe not as big as or grand as a Best Buy here in the States, but it seems like they have a reputation for coming up with these very, very hard to find and even harder to purchase items, like even the Gundam series, 30 series cards, GPUs. They're able to get their hands on these things, which makes me kind of wonder where they get their stock from.
Yeah, they got some sort of connection out there in the underworld, or in the dark web. Yeah, very interesting. I thought that was funny. I like that we had some sort of a resolution to that. We had a good laugh. We speculated, and now we found out that they are out there, and don't buy a card from that company because it's stolen, allegedly.
Yeah.
All right, and next up, a brand new Polish studio called Far From Home recently unveiled its debut project. Now, this is a studio that it's made up of a ton of veteran game makers with credentials on a bunch of different games, and now they finally released some information about their debut game. It's going to be called Forever Skies, and I thought this was a very interesting sounding game. It's a sci-fi survival game about climate disaster. Now, saying that it's just about climate disaster, it's not like a post-apocalyptic game that takes place in a world like this. Now, granted, it is. That's exactly what it is. But there's more to it. So, let me read some information. So, it's a first-person action survival game that takes place on a ruined Earth years after a massive climate disaster renders it uninhabitable. And then it's expected to launch on PC in early access later this year, with a next-gen console release to follow. So not only does it sound really cool, but I love the idea behind it. Now, this company, let's go Far From Home, they're not like just using this as a basis, a part of their game. In a quote from the studio, it says they wanted to make a game explicitly about the harms of climate change. It says that the ongoing indifference in society, despite observed changes to the climate from scientists, has puzzled the team for some time. So with Forever Skies, they wanted to visualize what the future might hold if humanity's current course is not changed. And what's more, they don't want to stop at a visualization. They're adamant that the studio isn't just neutrally presenting possibilities. It's explicitly trying to join the climate discussion on the side of those concerned about the issues and the world's response to it. So, very cool, like, that they're actually, talking about this as like, all right, this is a game, sure, but this is going to be our future if shit doesn't change. So I think that might have been one of the first times that's ever been done in a game, like something like this, on something as big as climate change and as big as the future of our planet being represented in a game. So I really thought that was very interesting. Hopefully the game's good. They showed a little bit of a teaser about it where like there's all these toxic clouds and you got to stay above the clouds, so you're up in the top of these high sky-rise buildings and stuff like that. And I guess in the game there's gonna be crafting, base building, planting, research, and then climb and combat. So yeah, what do you think? You like this idea?
Yeah, I'm a sucker for a lot of those game mechanics, like good base building, farming, crafting, all of that. And from the screenshots that I saw, it looks pretty awesome. Now, I don't know if you're like never allowed to touch the ground, like ground is lava, but I do really like the idea of like you're almost in a boat. The way you're floating around in this like airship, you're almost in a boat, like going to different islands because the ground is so toxic. You're basically limited to buildings that are above the clouds.
Yeah.
So it's a really cool concept.
Yeah, and then once you like start thinking about it, and it's like it's scary to think that this, maybe not in our lifetime, but in the future that this could be, this could be the future for the Earth. So very interesting idea. I hope that they pull it off. But like I said, these guys they're veterans in making video games. So this is their first game, brand new IP, which I love. Let's see what it's like. Hopefully, we'll get some more information, some more video from that game. And hopefully it won't be as dire and scary.
Yeah. Could be worse. Could be SimCity.
It could be. There should do a SimCity climate change version, where it's just like everything just goes to shit.
Monsters, hurricanes, everything at once.
Yeah. I haven't played SimCity in a long time. Do they they have stuff like that, right? Where there's like natural disasters and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I remember. I think I played
like when you give up on the game. Yeah, when you give up on your city, you just start to wreck it with all these. Yeah.
Nice. Do they have like Godzillas that can come out and stuff?
Maybe the newer ones.
All right, let's move on. Let's talk about another game announcement. Now I know you're hyped for it. Avatar. Right? And not just Avatar, but an Avatar mobile game. Oh, but let's not stop there. An Avatar mobile MMORPG. Who isn't excited? Everybody, now that you've taken that all in, calmed down, get hyped for this new Avatar mobile MMORPG. In it, you create your character. You travel the world of Pandora. You meet other Na'vi clans, and you battle humans. Right there. Sounds amazing.
Yeah. I mean, in case it's not clear enough, this is James Cameron's Avatar, not the Nickelodeon Avatar that people would probably like a game for.
Yes, good point. Now, good point. We didn't talk about that Avatar anymore. It's all about James Cameron's Avatar, the Blue Cat people, because like the new movie's finally coming out in the next year or 10, and then this is going to be it. We're going to have Avatar jammed down our throats for like at least another year or so. And this is the start of it. This is a new mobile game coming to iOS and Android, and in it you can play it solo, you could play it with friends. There's PvP modes, there's story missions that you can play with your friends, you can play it by yourself, all this stuff. They only released, so they have all this stuff announced, but then they only showed us like one little piece of concept art, and that's it. So I don't know, like it doesn't sit well with me that like this is all this stuff that you're going to be doing in this game is coming out this year. Here's just a still picture of concept art, not even from the game. So we'll see. You could visit the Avatar Reckoning website to sign up for the beta. You could get more information there. But yeah, sometime this year, iOS, Android, get back into Pandora, baby. Put your hair in a horse's ass or whatever that was they did in that movie. You've seen those movies, right? No, I say
everybody saw it, but nobody can remember it.
Yeah, I recently tried to go back. I remember really enjoying it when I saw it. I saw it in 3D at the movie theater, and it was the most amazing experience. I was like, whoa, just everything is like, all over. And I recently went back and I tried to watch it, and I'm like, man, it really takes a long time for anything to happen, and I didn't make it very far. So I would like to, I'm going to have to give it another try to see if it's as good as I remember it. But I just remember one, like, that the one dude in, like, one of those giant, like, mech things. I thought that part was cool. Getting back to our mech love affairs. So, yeah, we'll see.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I still don't know if the world's ready for more Avatar games or things, movies, anything, really. I don't know. We'll see. It was, like, the highest grossing movie for the longest time. But
yeah, like, if a game is good, like, feels good, plays good, it's not as important, the property it's based off of. Maybe it could even help people get into the property.
That's true. Look at Shadow Man.
Yeah.
Shadow Man.
I didn't know it was a comic book, but I'd check it out. I liked that game.
Yeah. But I mean, this is like, then there's like some AAA Avatar games coming to the next gen consoles at some point in the future too. So this is just the tip of the iceberg in Pandora. But yeah, that's it for our news. We did it. Did we miss anything? You got anything newsworthy that you want to talk about?
Nope.
That was your chance.
Nothing at all.
You blew it. All right, let's talk about our newest content creator of the week. Now, names say a lot. In this case, they're not true. This content creator of the week, the Crappy Gamer, is anything but. I mean, maybe he's not the best at certain games, but he is damn fun to watch. He's a Brit, and he plays so many different games. Like, the hugest variety of games. And, he's got his commentary out there. He's doing his thing. My favorite thing that he does, and I'm not even, like, so I've never been a Pokemon fan ever, but he plays Pokemon via the online trading card game, and I sit there and I watch the whole videos all the time. Just, I love watching. I don't know, it's something about the competition of playing these games. No idea what's happening, but I love it. So it's one of my favorite things he does. And then there's times where he talks about, like, why decks are better than others and that sort of thing. I learned so much, and I know nothing about Pokemon until now.
I mean, I will agree with everything that you said about the content. Also, one of my favorite things that he does is he puts some time and thought into comments on Fruit Lab, and that is more appreciated than people probably think, because you put a lot of time. We all put a lot of time into our videos, and when somebody actually, you can tell that they watched it, that they give a little bit of a crap about it. It's nice. He's a great member of the community for that.
Absolutely. Stand-up guy. He's definitely, shows interest, and and let's show it back to him. Go give him a follow. Watch some of those videos. Watch him play some Pokemon trading card game. I'm telling you, you'll be in love. I don't know, something about it. I gotta have him tutor me. I gotta get into the Pokemon world.
Oh yeah.
But if you're not into Pokemon, watch any of his countless other videos. Like, I'm telling you, dude, he plays in so many games, and it's a lot of fun. So yeah, go check out the Crappy Gamer. I'll include his page in the show notes. Give him a follow, and comment on some of his videos. He's always out there doing the same for everybody else. So, all right, that's it. What do you got to add?
I wanted to give a quick shout out to G4 TV since we talked about their relaunch. I've been getting into their content recently on YouTube and Twitch, and I'm enjoying it. Yeah, I didn't watch the channel back in the day, so I don't know who all of these personalities are that are returning. But their game reviews, everything I've watched, I'm enjoying it.
Nice. I got to subscribe to that YouTube, because I haven't checked. I've seen some, like, if I've stumbled upon it, like, and I've checked it out, but I want to look at it more regularly, because I do have fond memories of watching that channel back at pre YouTube. So
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that'd be good to check out. Good call. All right. Well, that's it. Another episode in the books. My name is Erock the Red. Follow me on Fruit Lab. This guy's full clip. Check him out there. You could also check him out playing video games on a little place called Twitch. He is full clip _FL there. If you wanna see some fun videos, in addition to all that, go to Pop Culture Playground. I'm always talking about video games, movies, TV shows. This show is on there. My other podcast, First Eps, is on there, and and Fruit Lab. First go to Fruit Lab. That's where all this fun stuff comes from. That's the bread and butter of this bad boy. But if you don't want to do any of that and just want to listen with your ear holes, check us out on all the podcast services around the world. We're there. We're on every one of them. Gaming News Weekly, every week, bringing you that video game news that you need to know. All right, that's all I got. This is your chance. Words of wisdom. Full clip, go.
I got nothing.
Damn it, dude. You're supposed to have a list. All right. Thanks, everybody, for checking it out. We'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Later.